Hello and welcome. Well, I did a video a while back, me lubricating my runners on my DeWalt radial arm saw, which I've had for a good many years. And God, didn't I get slated? You should lubricate your radial arm saw. No, shouldn't do it. Anyway, before I get into it, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Yes, I lubricate my radial arm saw, and I know they say you shouldn't, but if I can just kind of show you why I lubricate my radial arm saw, you always going to get wear. Metal on metal wears, creates metal filings, for which I can kind of prove. So if I just run this over and run back the rollers, and then, oh, there we go, and then have a look at that. This is a baby wipe. It says black. That black is effectively metal filings. A bit like when you change the oil on your car, you get like black oil. And, you know, and it's because I obviously didn't change the oil enough, there's metal filings. And that, to me, is wear. Whatever way you look at it, it's wear. Now, if you don't lubricate and it's always dry in this area, you might not see this. You might see a little bit, but you won't quite see it because it basically falls away from the saw, but it's still there. So, it stands to reason that with lubricant, or some form of lubricant, I usually use a sort of semi-dry lubricant with PTFE, but you can obviously have a certain amount of stuff stick to it, so you've got to make sure you clean it every single week, you know, like I do. So because obviously stuff will stick to it if you're not careful. And I'll just use this stuff, which is like, it's just a PTFE lubricant, but it's a wet version. It's basically like it's a universal lubricant, a bit like not WD-40 because that's like water displacement 40 times or whatever you call it. This has got a little bit of well, it's a lubricant, but it's very thin. So I just basically spray these areas out on both sides. I've actually already done this, to be fair, this week. I just want to point it out. And then I just like literally just wipe it away. So there's not like big gungy amounts of lubricant. I'm just effectively just cleaning the rails really. And then I do around the top of the rollers wherever I can reach. And if I can't get to that way, I then remove the whole head by taking this piece off here. So yeah, basically removing that from the track, and then I get to the rollers. I like to keep them clean, but I pretty much do this on a weekly basis because then, in my mind, and it's quite a simple mind, I must admit, but in my mind, it's better to have runners or rollers running over something that's smooth with a small amount of lubricant, even if you use the wax even, or just a dry PTFE, to allow those two surfaces to slip over each other instead of basically grinding against each other, you know. I know some people out there, they like a good grind, but not with your radial arm saw. It's not such a good idea. So, yes, do I recommend that you lubricate your tool? Well, there's a personal decision for you, but yeah, personally, I like to lubricate my tool. And when you come to my time of life and all that, you know, it's usually a good idea. So, yeah, I lubricate my tool and make sure my tool is clean. It's usually, yeah, that's pretty much my recommendation. As far as I'm concerned, that's how I do it. I know people say that that's not how to do it, and I know that the manual says, no, you don't put any lubricant on the runners and stuff like that. But I have to admit, this machine is still going really, really well, and there's very little signs of wear underneath here, and I'm quite happy with that. And I think that's partly because I lubricate my tool. You've got to lubricate your tool, otherwise your tool will get worn. Ask the missus.